It's going to be no problem. Everybody's still pretty hot, and I've got I'm a fan of one Cleveland Brown player, and I will get to that.
We will talk about
in a little
that
bit.
in a little bit. Yes.
So for me, I've got Atlanta, I've got Kansas City, and I've got the Rams for this week. You impress me so much because every single week you do this off the top of your head, just off the
cuff, baby.
Off
just
the
gotta
cuff.
get ready to go. All right, so I didn't really even pay attention to what you said because it said we were on Facebook Live, but we weren't, which we do every Wednesday around 10:30ish. We get on Facebook Live. We also post this first thing in the morning on Thursdays on all the other platforms, iHeartRadio, iTunes, all the good ones. So on that note, I'm going to just throw 3 picks out. I went 3-0 last week. Remember that when you're listening, if you want to make some cash.
And this is how you
5
did it
and
last
1.
week, too.
So here we go. So to start this thing off, I think I'm going to start off going with my friends from, man, there's a lot of games in here that I'm not a big fan of.
Yeah, it was tough.
Yeah, I can see. All right, so Mike and I like to take underdogs, but may not happen as much this week. Actually, yeah, it will. You know what I'm doing?
I don't yet.
I'm going with the Falcons. How are the Falcons getting a 1.5 right now? I just don't understand that. So I'm going to take the Falcons with the points over the Colts. Colts are given 1.5. No way they win that game with Brissett in there. So then from there, I'm going to go to, let's see here. Minnesota's giving Oakland 8.5. Man, New England, 23 points. This is back-to-back weeks they're giving 20 or more points. That's pretty impressive. So I'm not going to touch that game, obviously. You know what? The Eagles and the Lions, 6.5. I'm going Detroit in this game. I don't know why. Something gives me, I'm going to take them plus 6.5. And then we're going to go with
Detroit's plus 6.5. Is that what you said?
yes. And then I'm going to take, from there, we're going to go with my friends in, you know what I'm doing?
No.
6.5 is the spread with Jameis Winston going up against, who's taking over for Eli Manning? I don't even know the guy's name.
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones.
Jones.
Yeah, I feel like he should be. I feel like there should be an old song about him, like Daniel Boone or something like that. But anyway, I'm taking the Giants. I'm gonna take the Giants plus 6.5.
Wow.
Yeah,
Look at you.
I got faith in the little man. Saquon's gonna go to town. Anyway, so that's our picks. So if you paid attention and you wrote them down, which Adam does every week, we'll keep you updated. We still don't know what our bet is going to be. So if you've got any fun ideas, jump on the FaceTube Live. Catch us on the Insta Snap or any of that other good stuff, and let us know what you think. Give us a tweet at a tweeter, and we'll go from there. Speaking of tweet, let's before we get into Daniel Jones and other quarterbacks that are really old that are hurt, let's hear how does somebody get a hold of you on the tweet box?
I'm at Adam Schmidt 44. Very simple. First, last name, 44. For my man Eric Davis.
I'm at Sickwhittit, SICWHITTIT. And, I don't put a lot of stuff on there. I've been liking some things here lately.
But when you do, though, it's good stuff.
Actually, you know what? Before we go on any further, I'd like to tell everybody, if you're coming down to Oktoberfest this weekend, come support the Oak Hills girls golf team. My niece plays for the Oak Hills girls golf, and they are running the booth at the Great Lakes. I'll be there working, handing beers out from 3 to 7 on Saturday. So come talk to your favorite Nosebleeds co-host, and I'm not going to give you any beer, but I'd love to see you give a tip to the girls. They get all the tip money that comes in, goes to them, and helps them to become better just human beings.
It helps the program.
Helps the program. So come on down. Oktoberfest, Saturday, August 21st, 3 to 7.
It's gonna be September 21st.
Probably September.
Instead of August.
Yeah, probably
But
September. But that's
it is
okay.
gonna be September.
All right, so on that note, let's do it. So we talked about Daniel Jones and these New York Giants. How about all these old farts? Just the game of football, they get younger, faster, stronger, right? That's always what you hear: younger, faster, stronger, all the time. Brother, we got some 40-year-old quarterbacks that are not feeling too good this morning.
This was the week of the older quarterback going down, or being sidelined for a length of time. So you had Ben Roethlisberger go out with the elbow injury. He has to have surgery. He's out for the rest of the year. You have Drew Brees, who I think was it broken? I don't know that it was broken. His thumb. He hit his thumb on Aaron Donald.
I'm pretty sure it's broke. He's out 6 weeks.
He's out 6 weeks. If depending on who you talk to, there was a former player that I heard talking about, anytime he's seen that thumb injury, it's been like 12 weeks. So he's talking like, don't be surprised if it's more than 6 weeks.
And Drew Brees is 59 years old, so, he's probably just got arthritis in it now, and it'll never heal.
Yeah.
How does Tom Brady do it? How does Tom Brady do it?
He's a freak. But it was kind of weird to watch Drew Brees after, he came out of the game. They kind of worked on it for a little bit. He went over and tried to pick a football up off the ground. Couldn't do it. Just dropped right out of his hand.
Yep.
Just could not put his thumb around a football, which has to be the strangest feeling to him because that's what he's done every single day of his life for the last 41 years or whatever.
Right.
And then the last one is Eli Manning. Now, the Giants, this was a big deal in the offseason. The Giants took a quarterback, Daniel Jones, out of Duke in the first round this past draft, and they were already talking about, is he going to dethrone Eli Manning? Is it going to be right away? Is it going to be in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or halfway through the season? Or is he going to go a full season and do like the old John Kitna, who was it? Was it Carson Palmer when they drafted him and he sat for a year and watched John Kitna,
That was the thing to do back in the day. Now you get drafted, you get thrown to the wolves, go get beat up.
Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, that situation.
Yep.
So, but yeah, it is different now. I mean, you draft a quarterback in the first round, that guy's going to play. And Eli Manning even said so. So they announced after week 2, Eli Manning started the first 2 weeks. They started 0-2 for like the 5th straight year or something like that. The Giants did, and after a couple days after the game, I guess they announced that Daniel Jones would be the starting quarterback moving forward. Eli Manning's not hurt. There's nothing wrong with him except for that his feelings are a little hurt now because he was flat out. He was truthful when they asked him about it, and he said, "I'm not happy about it. I don't like it. I'm going to," he said all the right things like you would expect.
Yeah, he's a Manning. He's going to say all the right stuff.
Right. But he was honest. I don't like this. I'm going to support Daniel, and I'm going to be a good teammate and do whatever they want me to do. But he wants to be on the field, obviously. And
right.
He has been for 15 years. He's been in this league, and he's been the quarterback for the Giants.
And he's been good.
And that's been the big debate too. That's the thing. Like everybody's talking, and that's the weird thing to me is everybody immediately started talking about, was Eli a Hall of Famer? Like it's the end of his career. He's still on the team.
Yeah, but it kind of is the end of his career, right?
But Daniel Jones could go out there and throw 4 interceptions in the first quarter,
break his thumb,
break his thumb or something, and they got to put Eli back in because he's the better option. I mean, I think maybe because the Giants are going to be terrible again, probably they might just ride Daniel Jones out the rest of the year. Maybe just because he's going to be the guy moving forward. But if he's horrible, I mean, I don't know. I would have a hard time having another guy who's not playing great right now either, but is much more experienced and can probably put your team in a better position if Daniel Jones is playing very poorly. Mm-hmm. Eli can probably step in and do a better job. I don't know. That's a dilemma for their coach to worry about. But it's going to be interesting to see if what happens if Daniel Jones can't handle it. I mean, he was great in the preseason, but that's the preseason.
That's the preseason. Sure.
So we're going to find out this week and in the coming weeks what happens there. But you have those 3 guys, Roethlisberger, Brees, and Eli Manning, all out for, God knows what for Eli Manning, at least 6 weeks for Brees, and for the whole season for Roethlisberger. And Roethlisberger's 37 years old, something like that, 37, 38 years old. he's got to be. He talked last year about
Yeah.
being at the end. Being pretty close to retirement and considering it. So Breeze is still really, really, really good.
And he looks like he's in terrific shape.
Yeah, he takes care of himself just like Brady.
Unlike
he's right there.
Roethlisberger, who just looks like a fat cow.
right. But he's still he's still a pretty good quarterback. He's
Yeah.
not that Breeze Brady level anymore, I don't think.
Right.
But he's still up there.
Sure, he takes care of business.
Yeah.
Smart guy still.
Yeah.
Well, on the field, football smart.
IQ is good.
Football smart. It's hard to give Roethlisberger any kind of credit, being Cincinnati Bengals fans as we are, unfortunately. Right. So yeah. I mean, I agree with everything on that. What do you think about this? Because we didn't write this down, but I wanted to throw this out to you real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So everything going down with Antonio Brown,
Mm-hmm.
and if I'm not mistaken, I believe on Monday of next week, his accuser is going to be meeting with the NFL. She got married this past weekend or something, and she's going to meet with the NFL next Monday, or this Monday coming up.
I thought she did this Monday.
Or did she do it this past Monday?
I
Maybe
think
that's
she
what
did
it was.
this
Maybe it
Monday.
was this past Monday.
I think.
Well, obviously, whatever she had told them wasn't enough. Well, I guess that was after the game, so it was 2 days ago. They still have not put him on any kind of exempt list like everybody thought, and he comes out and they throw to him early and often. And think about this, all right? So Antonio Brown is done with Pittsburgh, right? And he goes about it the complete wrong way. And leaves,
Quits on his team,
Quits on
basically.
his team, leaves Pittsburgh. Goes to Oakland, acts like he loves it, and then he feel like he really didn't love it, and so he gets his way out of Oakland. So you've got Pittsburgh, who now has Ben Roethlisberger hurt. Like everybody thought, every step down the line, it seemed like maybe AB was going to get he was going to get told, the best way to, maybe he wasn't doing things the right way. He's got to figure it out. Well, it didn't happen. Now Pittsburgh's out of quarterback. The Raiders are terrible. And AB somehow is just living on cloud nine. You got a guy even look at Le'Veon Bell, who went through the same thing, and he ends up on the Jets.
Who are bad.
And you got Antonio Brown with all this stuff coming out, some pretty incriminating evidence with the text that came out, the text or emails or whatever that have crept out into the online Twitter sphere.
And there's a second accuser now.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
There's a second second woman has accused him of sexual misconduct.
Wow.
So he's got even more on his plate now to deal with.
And he comes out smelling like roses in this whole thing, catching touchdowns, doing his thing.
Yep.
I don't understand this, dude. It's like everything he touches is gold.
It's well, yeah. It seems like he's getting undeserved good luck. It's
You
so
almost
hard
feel
to-
like something's gonna just crash down on him, and it's gonna crash and burn and be. There's got to be some karma out there for Bengals fans.
And it's still for Bengals fans. Well, yeah, this is strictly for Antonio Brown, but I think it's going to come down. I think it is going to come crashing down on him at some point. And whether it's the first accuser, the second accuser, or just people getting sick of his antics.
The problem is once you get to two, like if there's one woman out there saying some stuff, and you're an NFL player and you make a lot of money, and it's a civil case, not a criminal case, so all she's looking for is money from you. That's all there was involved in the civil case. It's just a money thing. Everybody's going to come out and be against this woman and say, well, it's a money grab. It's this, that or the other. When two of them come out, all of a sudden people start feeling okay. It was like with Cosby.
Yeah.
Like Cosby had this woman come out and they're like, man, it's Bill Cosby, dude. We're talking about pudding pops. What are you talking about?
That's Fat Albert, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah, come on. Let's be honest here. And next thing you know, there's like 30 or more or whatever happened with Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
I hate to tell you this, but AB, things ain't looking up for you, brother.
Nope. Seems like there was a regular plan of action for that guy when he was alone with the ladies. But
he met one of them at Bible camp or something weird
Is
like
that
that.
right?
It was, the first girl that they met in college in a Bible class or something, or like Bible study or something.
Wow. Well,
Hey, here's what it is.
He wasn't paying attention in that class, apparently.
So we don't know. It's just don't hey, the guy's
No,
not.
you're right.
Innocent until proven guilty. It just doesn't look good for him.
It doesn't. But right now, until all that stuff happens, he's playing for the best team in the world, and he's gonna get. I think he only had 5 catches. He had like 4 in the first quarter.
Only had 5 catches.
But he ended up with 5, and one of them was for a touchdown, and they won. So that's gonna, he's gonna behave if he's on a great team where they're winning.
Hey,
and he's getting
winning
some touches,
solves everything, brother.
He gets to see the end zone. Yep,
winning solves everything.
Yep, absolutely.
So speaking of winning solves everything, the Bengals suck.
Yep, that's it. Okay, on to the next thing.
On to the next thing. So, speaking of the Bengals, no, because really there really isn't anything to talk about. It was the worst football game I think I've ever seen in my life. They were dominated in all facets. Mm-hmm. We were all really looking forward to seeing this game, especially after the Seattle game where we got to see the Bengals come out and look like their defense was playing really well. The offensive line seemed to be holding up. They were moving the ball. They lost, but they were moving the ball.
Right.
Yesterday, it started off. So the kickoff, there's a 15-yard penalty on a kickoff, right? So right off the bat, no good. Next play is a sack, and the next play after that is a fumble. They fumbled a handoff. It's like, all right, or maybe it was somehow it went in that nature.
Yeah.
That game was destined to be bad from the time it started. And that's exactly what it was.
It didn't get better.
No. They made Breida look like the second coming of Barry Sanders. Was it Breida? How do you say that guy's name?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. But every time I look, so I had it on and I was doing some other stuff around the house. But every time I looked up, it seemed like the 49ers were running for like a 12-yard gain. Like it seemed like
they averaged 8 yards per carry.
And you could tell. It was like every single time I looked up at the TV, they broke off of some big play, and I'm like, is this just like really bad luck? Every time I'm looking up, or is this just
it was all game long. I watched it. It was all game long.
Yeah, and the score kept going up and up and up and up.
It wasn't even the running. It wasn't even the running game that killed us. Every pass that Garoppolo threw, he threw to a guy who didn't have a defender within 10 yards of him. It was I've never seen anything like it. There was a play, Chris Spielman, who almost killed Tom Brenneman during the broadcast. Did you see that?
No.
He gave Tom Brenneman he was talking about a clothesline, and he clotheslined Tom Brenneman, and it scared the living daylights out of him. It was hilarious. So funny. Anyway, Spielman, there was a play where before the ball even left Garoppolo's hand, he goes, "Oh, that's a touchdown." That's how wide open the guy was down the sideline. There was nobody near him, and it was like a 40-yard touchdown.
That's bad. A really, really bad showing. Like you said, all facets, they got dominated, and it's just
I don't know how you fix something like that.
Yeah, you got a game plan. I guess you got a game plan a little bit differently for everybody, but I
feel like that's a lot of coaching. You got the players are always the one out there, but I feel like there's something comes into coaching when guys are that open. Schemes are wrong, or players are looking at different things they shouldn't be looking at, or they're not looking at the right things. Something's going on there, and they've got 1 week to figure it out because this could be a very fast downfall for one Mr. I guess I've been with Marvin Lewis for 16 years. Zach Taylor. Jeez, Pete. Yeah. Anyway, it could be a quick downfall for one Mr. Zach Taylor. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how this goes. But good luck next week, man. I hope they play well this week.
Well, we'll see. Neither one of us had them in our picks. So
no, there's no chance.
No chance. Gotta stay away from that.
All right, so speaking of the Bengals suck, let's go on because we do not we don't not like the Browns, but the Browns have never been good, so they never gave us a reason to not like them. Like I hate Pittsburgh because they're the best team in our division forever. Don't like Baltimore because they've been good in our division. But Cleveland, they're terrible.
They've been bad.
But there is a bright spot on the Cleveland Browns. And I would like to hear why you were telling me before this, because you told me you love Myles Garrett. And I love Myles Garrett. The dude's a monster, right? He's probably going to be Defensive Player of the Year. He came out and said that's his goal. I want to be Defensive Player of the Year. And that's that's bold to come out and say that, but I think that's what all defensive players want. But he can do it.
When you have a great offseason and you're feeling really good, That says something for you. I mean, you feel that good that your goal, you can have a goal that lofty, that you want to be the NFL Defensive Player of the Year. Good, go for it. And I am rooting like heck for him now because there was a gentleman that put a picture of Myles Garrett on Twitter next to a picture of Shawn Michaels.
Oh, yeah?
Former wrestler Shawn Michaels. Because after, I think it was a sack or a tackle or something like that, Myles Garrett made the pose that Shawn Michaels did when he got into the ring before his matches or after he won or whatever. It was like almost like a groin stretch on your one leg, where you extend your leg all the way out to the side and your other leg is like bent.
We all know that everybody knows the Shawn
you got
Michaels
the flex.
pose. If you don't know the Shawn Michaels flex, then just look it up.
Look it up.
Look up Shawn Michaels flex because everyone's going to be him squatting to one side, throwing him up.
Right. So
he was a pretty son of a gun too.
Shawn Michaels. That's why he was called the Heartbreak Kid.
I know
Heartbreak
it.
Kid. And it was so the guy put a side by side picture up of Myles Garrett and Shawn Michaels in the same pose. And Myles Garrett was excited and he tweeted and said, "Hey, this guy's the first guy that got it." That is exactly what I was doing.
Right.
Because he loves Shawn Michaels, he said, I gotta shout out the Heartbreak Kid. So that's exactly what he was trying to do. That made me so excited.
The excitement in your face right now is so great.
Because he's a fan of old wrestling, and Shawn Michaels specifically, and then Jerry the King Lawler. The real Jerry the King Lawler is active on Twitter, even though he's 85,000 years old.
How does that surprise? That don't surprise me at all.
I don't know, but anyway, he put something. He said something like, "My Browns, love my Browns. They know their wrestling history," which he retweeted Myles Garrett's tweet about the Heartbreak Kid, and Myles Garrett tweeted back and said something like, "Oh my!" Like he was beside himself because he couldn't believe Jerry the King Lawler,
You're Myles
tweeted
Garrett,
about
man.
him.
You're Myles Garrett,
Yeah,
dude.
but he's Jerry the King Lawler.
That's so true. That is so true.
I just love that he loves old wrestling.
I know it. I know you do because your face right now, the excitement
man.
on your face now was.
So excited.
I feel like it's bigger than if the Reds won the World Series.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, which is more important, being a fan of 80s and 90s wrestling or Reds World Series?
Yeah,
we're so far away from a Reds World Series, I can't even.
I don't even know what that feels like.
Imagine it.
I don't think we're as far as you think. We're 2 years away from a Reds World Series.
2 years away. Listen, record this. Keep this podcast on your device. Keep this Facebook Live deal up. Remember this. You heard it.
2 years.
It is September 18th, 2019. Chris Witt says in 2 years, 2021 is the Reds' year.
No doubt. I mean, I think it's pretty simple. I mean, they got the staff, they got the offense. It's just putting it together and letting them grow a little bit. I feel they're a lot like the Atlanta Braves were a couple years ago. Young, talented, just needed to gel.
Maybe. Do we have a Ronald Acuna Jr.? Do we have a Freddie Freeman?
Yeah. Freddie Freeman's Joey Votto. Ronald Acuna Jr. is
Joey Votto was Freddie Freeman.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, we don't need to have the exact people, but Ronald Acuna Jr. is Aristides Aquino. We got guys.
Oh,
we got guys that have potential. I mean, Ronald Acuna Jr. Was just really awesome, young and fun, and then he became a superstar. And this kid's really young and fun. Let him give us a couple years. Give us some time to let these guys play together. They're going to be good. They suck this year, but they're going to be good. Let's get off the Reds. We'll get into baseball in a little bit because I want to hear. So Jerry the King Lawler is probably has had both the Popeyes chicken and the Chick-fil-A chicken, right? I would assume so.
He's active on Twitter. I imagine he's a
That's
social
the biggest
media guy.
thing on social media.
Right.
I still have not had the Popeyes chicken sandwich. If you listened a couple weeks ago when we had Andre Edwards on from LockedOnBengals.com, that's at Andre Edwards 03 or 06. Sorry, at Andre Edwards 06. Great Twitter follow. He was telling us about the Popeyes chicken sandwich, and I told you that you can't go to Popeyes on the west side. They won't have the chicken sandwich. Now, all you told me was that you went to Popeyes and you got a story. So let's hear it. What happened when you went to Popeyes?
I laughed my butt off because because you warned me that don't go to Popeyes on Glenway Avenue on the west side of Cincinnati, which is the one that's like 3 minutes from my house.
Exactly.
It's right down the street. So I'm like, of course I'm going to go to that one. What am I going to do, drive to Coleraine for Popeyes chicken? No. But anyway, I wanted to try it. Andre suggested it, recommended it. Lots of people, almost pretty much everybody who has done the, who has posted their videos of trying it and, have all had good things to say. My dad and I went a couple weeks ago.
Gotcha.
And we wanted to try it. Went in. There were like 2 people in line. Took a little time, and they were standing there for a while waiting on their food as we were ordering ours. I heard the lady tell someone in the drive-thru, "We are out of the chicken sandwich." I'm like, holy cow, Chris was not kidding. Chris was not kidding. So I'm kind of like, okay, well, I think I heard that. Maybe I'm going to ask just to double check. And they have the regular and the spicy, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I want to try both, really. So if they only have one, I'll try one now and one later. So I get up there. Did I hear you say that you're out of the chicken sandwich? Yep, we're out. We're out of the chicken sandwich. We won't have anything. We're out of a bunch of stuff. We won't have we won't have this stuff until tomorrow. Like, okay, so I'm looking around at the menu. I never go to Popeyes, like never. I've been there like maybe once in my life. So I'm like, okay, they have like chicken fingers or whatever. Okay, give me the 3-piece chicken finger or whatever.
No chance.
They actually did have it.
Oh, that's good.
They had it.
What'd you get on the side?
So
exactly.
I'm like, okay.
What'd you get on the side?
I'm like, I don't know how good this chicken's gonna be, so I need some barbecue or something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'll get the 3-piece chicken fingers and let me get some barbecue. Oh, out of barbecue sauce at Popeyes. So we're out of the chicken sandwich. We're out of barbecue sauce. Give me I forget what the second one. Let me get the whatever other kind of sauce they had. We're out of that one. We only have. There were, I think, like 7 sauces you can get there. They were out of 5 of them.
Dude,
5 of them.
Did you get a straw? Did they have straws?
They had straws. They did have straws.
Well, good for you. You got lucky because I'm gonna tell you right now, they're out of straws when I was there one time. Did they have fries? Did anybody get fries?
Yes, we did get
you
fries.
You got fries? They had fries.
Fries.
Well, that's a step in the right direction.
It's a step in the right
What'd
direction.
Your dad get?
If the fries were any good, it would have been a step in the right direction.
Wait, but not what did your dad get? What did he originally want? Because I guarantee they were out of something for him too.
He wanted the chicken sandwich, and then I forget. I honestly don't remember what I think he just got like a 3-piece chicken meal or whatever, and he loves fried chicken, so no problem for him. But he tried something else first. He tried to get something else first. Nope, don't have that one either. Okay, give me the 3-piece chicken. Give me whatever you have, basically.
I love it.
So he'll eat anything anyway. So anyway, he got that, and he wanted some kind of sauce. Nope, don't have it.
Sorry.
You want some ranch for your fried chicken? Okay, I guess. So anyway, that's what we ended up sitting there eating in the Popeyes, and you were 100% right, and I was cracking up as they kept denying us our order.
I'm telling you, and everybody's been out of the chicken sandwich, right?
Okay.
But dude, that's nothing compared to this Popeyes on Glenway.
I'm telling you,
and people are out of chicken sandwiches. That is what it is. This place is out of the whole menu.
It's out of the whole menu. So I went back this past Sunday, just a few days ago, by myself. I was like, man, I need some lunch. Want to, go through the drive-thru, right? Just real quick. I get there. There's already a car at the speaker in the drive-thru. I get there, sit there, roll my window down. Maybe about 4 or 5 minutes goes by. Somebody finally comes on the speaker. There's like maybe 2 cars in the parking lot, something like that. Somebody finally gets on the speaker, asks the person what they want in front of me. And they're like, yeah, can I get the chicken sandwich? We're out of that until October 24th.
Oh!
This was...
Holy cow!
So this was September 15th.
Wow.
September 15th. They're out of it for like 6 weeks.
All right. Well, there you go. Don't go to Popeyes and try to get the chicken sandwich. It just ain't going to happen. It doesn't exist anymore. It was a ghost. It's the McRib. It'll come back every 2 years. And
they're not going to have it when it comes back.
Don't go to Glenway because I guarantee they never even ordered it. I guarantee they didn't even put an order in for it.
Probably not.
I'm telling you.
I don't know if they have sauce now yet.
Sorry,
or not.
sir, but I don't have a lid for your drink. We're out of lids.
Yeah.
Now that's a joke, but I guarantee they've run out of them before.
Can you cup your hands so we don't have cups?
Sir, you can't have a drink today. We're out of cups.
The lady in front of me
You
tried
can
to
only have kids smalls.
the lady in front of me says, "Okay, well then I think she got the chicken fingers or whatever. And can I get a sweet tea? We're out of sweet tea."
To go make some sweet tea, man.
Yeah,
Come on.
it's a southern food
Staple,
place,
man. It's a
and they
staple.
don't have it at the Southern Food at the Louisiana Food Restaurant. Anyway, that was it. I was cracking up both times I tried to go get the chicken sandwich. I'm gonna try again sometime, but I'm not gonna be able to go there because it's gonna be Christmas before I get my chicken sandwich.
So
if I
all
try to
I'm
go that
hearing
one.
is when Chris tells you something, listen.
When Chris tells me something about Popeye's chicken,
You might as well just write it in gold or write it in pen.
get
or
it
what- How does
tattooed.
that go?
anytime you tell
Bronze
me
it.
anytime you tell me anything about Popeyes, I'm getting it tattooed on my body somewhere. So that's my Glenway Popeyes
I like it.
experience. You warned me. You were 100% right. And I got to listen to you from now on. Really quickly, jumping back before we go into this baseball playoff race, for these NFL picks, we have a suggestion for our
Let's
bet.
hear it, man. What we got? Is it on the FaceTube Live?
It is on Face. I'll just use Facebook. I'll just say Facebook Live. But yeah.
I like the Insta Snap. Do we got an Insta Snap?
I don't think we're not on InstaSnap yet.
Tube Face is always a good one.
Tube Face was your classic for
Yeah.
a long time. Yeah. Anyway, Joe Leonard, who by the way let us know that our feed wasn't quite working to begin with. So thank you, Joe, for getting us
Appreciate
on
that.
gear. Loser has to eat six stupid hot wings from Wild Mike's on air. I'm guessing stupid is the word that Wild Mike's uses for their hottest wings.
Yeah.
It looks like you might have some experience with some stupid
no,
wings.
I hate. I don't like stuff that's gonna make my mouth like feel like garbage or make my butthole feel like garbage later. I think this is good because I got a pretty good feeling that I like hot. I just don't like stupid hot. I don't
Yeah.
like that. When you like whatever's at the very top, like drop it down 12 levels, and that's what I want. Like when I go to BW3s, I get Parmesan garlic. It's like at the bottom.
Yeah.
I don't, I do like a spicy garlic, but I don't like a really spicy garlic. So, I'm good with it if you're good with it.
I don't know if I can handle it. I like some hot, spicy stuff,
Yeah.
but when it comes to like wings and stuff like
man.
that, I'm just a medium guy.
I
don't go above it.
100%. Yeah, Hooters medium, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
There's nothing better than that.
Right. Yeah, but I don't know about that highest level, and especially because it's we're going to be eating it at like 11:30 at night, and it's going to be tough.
I
man.
feel like neither of us want to do this, so this is the perfect. I feel like Joe came up with the perfect bet.
Dang, I was going to say no way. Thank God we don't have to do it. We agree we don't have to do it, but you're actually right.
Yeah,
It's something
I feel like this
neither
is
one
perfect.
of us do.
I feel
wanna
like it's
do.
perfect.
Oh, man.
All right, where that's in. It's 6 Wild Mikes. Well,
I don't know if I can do six.
We'll give it a go. I feel like once you start, you just gotta go full bore into it, get the 6 down, and be done.
Here's what I think we should do. We should put that as number 1 on the list of possibilities.
Okay.
Make that our first place
Okay.
bet for right now.
Okay. And then
as we get more suggestions,
you just don't want to do it, so you want more suggestions.
No. Look, if we don't have any better suggestions than that by the time it's all over, that's what we have to do.
All right, that sounds good to me, man. Let's do it. Let's do it that way. So we'll still take suggestions up until I don't know.
Please
November
give us
18th.
suggestions because I really don't want to eat midnight stupid hot wings. I love Wild Mike's.
Whatever
by the way. I go
platform
there all
you're
the
on,
time.
comment, like, subscribe, but comment, tell us what you think, and yeah, we'll throw it on the list.
I'm gonna have to start preparing now since you're 5-1 and I'm 3-3.
It can be taken care of quick. This thing can turn around in a heartbeat.
I mean, it could be really easy for you to win this whole thing because I always have to go first. So if you just pick the same games as me every week from now on, you're going to end up beating me.
There you go.
But since you're a classy guy, you're not going to do that. All right.
First off, I don't pay attention when you're picking your games anyway, so I could.
That's true. You did pick one of the same exact games, and it sounded like you were like thinking of it right off the. You know what? I think I'm gonna take this Atlanta game. Yeah, that was my first one too. Hey, but you said you were like I wasn't paying attention to what you were saying.
I apologize.
No, yes, nothing to apologize for.
All right, we're good. We'll stick with it. I wish you would have told me that. I would have switched it.
No,
this is the only time we're allowing this to happen.
Well, we did it last week too. I think we had, or the first week we had one of the same games.
All right. Well, it's not no longer. You pick yours, and I'm not allowed to take one of yours. So if I start, let me know.
All right.
All right. So on that note, let's move on to the baseball playoff picture is starting to really clear itself up. We've got a couple teams that have already clinched that are 100% in the playoffs. You have the LA Dodgers, you have the Atlanta Braves, and what's the other one? The Yankees? The Yankees clinched?
They have not officially clinched yet. Tampa Bay's 9.5 back. There's their what's the number?
Magic number?
Magic number is 1.
Okay, so they've all but clinched.
Pretty much tonight, probably. They might clinch tonight. Anyway, and then Houston, their magic numbers too. So anyway, we're getting close on the only real divisional race that's still alive is the NL Central, where St. Louis is leading. Chicago is 2.5 back, and Milwaukee, since they lost, I think tonight, are 3 back. Other than that, nobody's really that close. So, but the big thing is the wild card. I mean, that's what we're really looking at here. And in the National League,
and there's a lot of guys really that are definitely still in this. I mean, you got what is it? 1, 2. You got three teams that are within 3.5 games of the second wild card in the National League. So that's a lot of fun coming to the end.
And the difference between the first and second wild card spots is only a game. So I mean that can change. One of those teams that are two teams back from that second wild card could end up in the first wild card.
The number one wild card is not locked in yet.
Right. So right now, speaking of that, Washington has a 1-game lead on that over that top wild card spot, and the Cubs have the second wild card spot. Now, the Cubs right now, as we speak, are in the 10th inning with the Cincinnati Reds, tied at 2. The Reds, by the way, beat the Cubs last night, which guaranteed them a season series.
The Reds just took
win.
the lead 3-2.
Yes, sir. And so hopefully we'll see the Cubs go down tonight, and that would tie them with Milwaukee. So Chicago and Milwaukee would then be tied for that second wild card spot, and that's what I want. I love that game 163 where they're two
Stupidest
teams.
Game.
I know you hate it, and I love it.
So
I can't wait to talk about it again.
We will definitely be talking about the wild card again this year because it's just another and this year's nowhere near like it was last year, where the Yankees and Red Sox were so far ahead of everybody, and the Red Sox won the division, and the Yankees had to play in a playoff game, and they were like 14 games up on the second wild card, and they had a 1-game elimination.
But we're not gonna have to worry about that this year. But we still could have, because you have Milwaukee right now, as we speak, is a half game back. That could change by the end of tonight. Philadelphia is 3.5, and the Mets are still 3.5. So those teams are hanging in there. But for now, it's Washington, Chicago, and Milwaukee. So we're going to find out what happens, and it's going to, like we said last week, it's going to be really, really exciting for that one. And then in the American League, basically the same deal as last week, although, so I looked an hour ago, and I'm looking now, and it's different. So you have a 2-way tie for that second wild card spot in the American League now. So Cleveland and Tampa Bay are tied for the wild card spot, and those are the only teams. Boston's 9.5 back.
They've 2 games.
They're in the next one. So
2 wins, 2 losses away from being eliminated.
Right. So you have Oakland 2.5 games ahead in that first wild card spot, and then you have Cleveland and Tampa Bay. It would be my dream scenario for Cleveland and Tampa Bay to have to play game 163, and for Chicago and Milwaukee to play 163, and we get extra playoff baseball.
So you would end up having to play back-to-back 1-game playoffs.
Correct.
Back-to-back. You'd have to play a play-in game to get to the wild card play-in game, and then play the wild card play-in game to get to an actual baseball playoff game.
What would be more exciting than those
so
games?
Ridiculous. Game 7, where I got to watch 6 unbelievable games and really get to feel who the best team is.
What if they're not unbelievable games?
Well,
for
then
six games? What if they
then
don't even get to seventh game?
All right, well then it's a sweep and the best team wins.
In games 2 and 3, you're not necessarily throwing every one of your best pitchers out there because it's an absolute have to win
I'm not doing
every
this right
single
now.
pitch.
I'm not doing this right now.
Okay, we'll save it.
We're not close enough to the playoffs
We'll save it.
to be doing this.
We got 2 weeks left.
All right, 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, I'm going to get myself ready. I'm going to get my voice back.
Okay.
And I'm going at you with this 2 and 3 and 1 game playoff and all this other malarkey that Major League Baseball has done over.
I have some serious rooting interest every single day for the rest of this season. That
Sure.
has nothing to do with the Cincinnati Reds.
No,
That's
not
exciting.
at all. Yeah, this is, to be honest, baseball does get a lot of fun right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of scoreboard watching, especially if you got a team that's in the playoffs or has a chance at the playoffs. But just if you enjoy baseball in general, this is where you really get to pay attention to the teams that are close because the playoffs come on, and TBS and TNT. Who are the two that do? Is it Fox
yeah.
and then
TBS.
TBS?
Yeah.
So go because when they get, I mean, it's big time playoffs. The baseball playoffs have really started getting a lot more showing lately over the past few years. Better ratings over the past couple of years, and they do a really good job with it. And I don't know, man. I'm interested. Did I turn this off? No, I didn't. It's on. I'm excited to see some of the guys that maybe I don't know as well, and really get to see pitchers and some guys. Just some starters for teams that you don't hear a lot about. It's
your
fun.
Tampa Bays and Minnesotas and those guys.
You get to learn some names and see who's going to be great when it comes to the primetime playoff games.
Right. And really you get mostly excited about getting your Joe Buck fix. And I know that's the truth.
Yeah, Joe Buck.
So anyway,
I've started to like Joe Buck more than I used to.
Really?
I think he's become more self-deprecating. I don't think he thinks as much about himself anymore as he used to. He makes fun of himself a lot, and it's like you can't make fun of somebody that makes fun of themselves.
I think he's still pretty disliked generally, but sure, I agree.
But I mean, it's hard to like. I like making fun of Joe Buck, right? And it's hard to do that when somebody makes fun. That's been my whole life. I've lived off that. Like, I make fun of myself. Good luck. What do you got?
Yeah,
you can't come back on me. You're going to say something about me. I'm just going to agree and say something even worse about myself. Right. And then I'm going to come at you, and we're good to go, right? Like, I usually win those battles, but this is a whole different thing, man. Joe's been tough to get on because he likes to make fun of his hair plugs. He doesn't care if anybody knows it. He likes to make fun of just about everything. So.
Well, I think it was because of that kind of stuff where he was humbled. He was humbled
big time,
with that, and he had his throat thing or whatever.
Yep.
Or, he almost lost his career.
Yep.
I mean, and so I think
went through a divorce and went through
a
a lot of life-changing things, and it turns a guy around. So
right.
Good for him. He became a better person.
Right. All you got to do is get divorced and get some hair plugs, and you're a better
and
guy.
almost lose your vocal box.
Right. Yeah. Yep. And that fixes most people. That's going to start becoming some surgeries that people are just going to elective surgeries people are going to get. So the playoff races. Bottom line is that was silly. Bottom line is they're heating up and they're getting exciting.
Get elective vocal box surgery. Does that mean that I can?
If you could, I would. I would get it.
Dude,
I would take you with me and be like, listen to this guy right now.
Not my voice.
Get me like that.
So many times I meet these old smokers, and they got these like deep. Not raspy, but just like deep,
gravelly.
And I'm like, dude, they're just talking to you, and you're like, I feel like I'm listening to somebody on the radio. I wish I had your voice. And I think people think I'm really weird because I tell people that all the time. When you have if I've ever met you and I think you have a great radio voice, I probably have told you, and you probably are freaked out by me a little bit because I get a little excited about goofy stuff like that. But dude, I love that. I would totally want to get a deeper, more smooth voice.
So would I. I would. Oh my gosh, that's if I found a genie lamp and a genie came out of it. That might be one of my 3 wishes.
Ooh.
Give me a cool voice.
Real quick, you got 3 wishes.
Off the top, I gotta
Aladdin style, dude. Aladdin style. So
dude,
you can't bring anybody back from the dead. You can't make anybody fall in love with you.
I need weeks to think
No,
about
bro,
this.
I need them right now. What do you got?
I guess.
What do you got?
Okay, you can't bring anybody back from the dead, but can you
Nope.
make somebody live forever?
No,
Dang.
you can't become immortal. That was one and two.
Okay, I
Cannot
guess
be
okay,
immortal.
that falls in that. Okay. Let me get. I guess all the money I'll ever need, just unlimited money. If that's
yeah,
the thing,
Yeah.
because then you can almost get whatever you want anyway forever.
Yep.
I would say, give me like Barry White's voice or something like that,
Yeah.
and then make me, I don't know, keep me free from illness. I don't know. I guess you can die of natural causes and
Sure.
not be.
Yeah.
I don't know. I need weeks for this. I need to. I really
It's
give
tough.
it a lot
It's
of thought.
It's tough.
All right. What are your three?
Oh man, it's simple, dude. Just give me some money. That's all I need. I just need, like you said, I just need enough money to, get through. And unlimited funds. I like that word. Unlimited funds. I want because I want to be able to buy my zero gravity room. I want, my house is going to have a zero gravity room someday. Dude, that's really, after that, I can figure it out.
How long can you have fun in a zero gravity room? Like, would that be fun for like a week maybe, and then?
And
you'd
then
be like-
every time somebody that you meet, you just say, dude, come check out what I got. And
Yeah.
Are you kidding? I would learn how to do so many tricks in a zero gravity room. I'd be like pouring drinks and like I would find ways to do anything. I would have a blast. I may die in a zero gravity room because my heart will start to misshape. My organs will be misshapen because there's no gravity. That's what they've got
Wow.
issues with some astronauts that got some misshapen hearts and
Really?
organs and stuff. That's why they got to work them out so hard when they're up there. They're always working out to use the muscles and stuff.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was an interesting little.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know.
Hey, that was cool.
I don't know.
I
I'm
mean-
sure I could think of something else. Eventually, like. But I'd say I'd want to own like a major league. Well, if I had unlimited funds, then I can own any team I want.
Buy all 30
Yeah.
NBA teams.
Like
or
what
all
would
30
what would
MLB
my
teams.
next thing be? I mean, everything that I would wish for would be, unless it was something like I want the body of blank and the voice of blank. Like other than that, funds are going to get me everything else.
Yeah, I would want the if you had to pick those two things, what would the body you want and what would the voice you want be?
The voice, man, I don't know. Randy Savage had a great voice.
Oh, that's a good one, dude. That's a great one.
I don't know, man. That's what you said. I need some time to go over that.
I think I might
Maybe
just
DJ Metcalf, or what's that kid's name? Metcalf, the wide receiver for. Is it the Seahawks? That number 1 draft pick. He's like 6'4", and as ripped a son of a gun as I've ever seen in my entire life.
I think I would want the Bruce Lee. I think I would want to be just
Dude's like 5'1".
lean and nimble, but he was super super strong and super quick. He had the perfect body. Not for playing basketball or playing professional football or something like that.
And
but
I want something to where like I could do anything I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I want to be tall but not too tall. Like in
You
that
wanna be like
6 foot to
6'5".
6'4".
Okay.
6 foot to 6'4" range.
I would say at least 6'4", yeah.
I want to be 6 foot to 6'4". I want to, be built like, somebody really strong.
Just like 200, 215 pounds of lean muscle and just, yeah,
Sure.
I got you. Real fast, can jump out of the gym and I'm with you. Voice, though, Randy Savage is such a good one.
How great
boy,
would that
oh
be?
boy. Luther, I would want to be like a great, like Luther Vandross
or something like that. Yeah,
yeah.
Barry White, Luther Vandross, something like that. All right, off of that. All right, so speaking of all this weird, goofy stuff, weeks ago we decided we were going to do a segment on the podcast about comedy specials. We're going to listen to a comedy special. We hope that you listen with us. Last week was Bill Burr's new comedy special, Paper Tiger. So let's start it off, man. What'd you think?
I loved it. I thought it was really funny.
Oh man,
It was it reminded me a lot of Dave Chappelle's because they tackled all the Me Too, all like the new call out culture, whatever you want to call it, the new thing that people are doing,
and
like
they make fun of them, and they make fun of those people. It's so great
because it's gone so far one way. Everybody's so like one-sided about that stuff now that it's like they've come back around, and now you've got those guys, and those are the guys that I think can get away with it. I don't think every comedian can get away with making the same jokes those guys are, but those guys are at the top of the game.
And to do that and get away with it, you have to already have established a culture of who you are and what makes you funny, and they established that way before all that was okay to even say.
Right.
So, before it was not okay to say. Now that it's not okay to say, if you're a new comedian, like I feel like you can try, but good luck.
Yeah, you just have to have it. You have to either pay your dues for a long time, or you just have to have something in you that draws people in. And
Bill Burr cracks me up, dude. When he starts into something and then he just kind of giggles and he's like, I don't even care if you guys are stupid. He just makes fun of everybody, and I love it. I love somebody that makes fun of everybody, including themselves.
He's had that persona of being like kind of the angry guy for a long time.
Yeah.
And he knows it, and he talks about it, and he talked about it in this one again too.
He doesn't want his daughter to be him.
Right.
An angry son of a like him.
Right. But he talks about it, and he talked about how he interacts with his wife, and how she's like, I don't understand how you can just go from 0 to 100 that quickly. And he's like, no, you don't understand. I was at 75 walking in here.
I walked in here and I could hear this guy son of a in the parking lot talking on his cell phone. I love that. It was so great.
There were so many funny, and the way, even the touchy stuff, the Me Too stuff, and all the different, delicate subjects, that you have to be careful with now.
Yeah,
he wasn't that careful with them.
No, he gets into racial things a lot too. He doesn't get real deep into them, but he's married to he's a white guy. He's married to a black woman, so he has some fun with it. And he started out and he's like, and I know everybody just thinks I bring that up just so I can tell jokes. No, I don't. Although it does help.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it had me laughing pretty much the whole time. I mean, it wasn't, and it was pretty fast paced. He was pretty. He's good at kind of going into the next thing, and it's
draws everything
tight.
Together pretty well.
Yeah. So anyway, that was
terrific, dude. I say that so far. Dave Chappelle and him were definitely 1 and 2. I know that you really like so far that we've listened to in this 5-week. We've had Whitney Cummings. We've done the Eddie Murphy Delirious. We did
Chappelle,
Jim Gaffigan, Dave Chappelle, and now Bill Burr. And the Bill Burr and the Dave Chappelle new specials were so far my 2 favorite.
And me too. And I put the Jim Gaffigan right there with those guys.
I go Eddie Murphy and then Jim Gaffigan, then Whitney down at the bottom. And it's so hard to say because I love Whitney Cummings. It just wasn't very good.
It didn't.
For me, it wasn't good to me. Some people probably loved it.
Yeah, same. It just wasn't.
Speaking of the Whitney Cummings, bringing it back to Whitney Cummings, is Bill Burr talked about the sex robots too.
Oh yeah. That's right. Yeah, I thought because I thought about that.
That was one of the best. That he did it so much better though. Talking about how you used to have to get a blow up doll, and he was cracking me up with the whole the way that you had to get it back in the day. It wasn't just shipped to you in an unmarked package. You had somebody else in this world knows what you just purchased.
Absolutely.
Oh, that was so funny.
So that was really funny. So I definitely recommend it. You recommend it. Bill Burr, Paper Tiger. It's on Netflix. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, it's definitely worth it, I think.
I forgot to say, spoiler alert. I can't do it.
Thank you. What are you talking about? You don't do it live. It's just a button that you push.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the buttons aren't working.
Unless you're watching on Facebook Live, then you know I'm lying. But anyhow, for comedy, like new release comedy that just came out over the weekend, just a few days ago, was the newest Comedy Central roast, and it was Alec Baldwin. You didn't get a chance to watch it, right?
I did not, no.
But you have watched several of the other Comedy Central roasts.
I love the Comedy Central roasts.
So do I.
And I wish, They need to be uncut. They need to be on HBO because so many of this stuff will be much funnier if I could actually hear all the words they're saying.
Well, they re-show them at like 1 a.m, and those are uncut a lot of times.
Oh, really?
So you can find them, and then I'm sure now you can find them. You might have to pay for them, but you can find them like online.
There's an app somewhere or something.
Yeah, I'm sure you can find it if you look hard enough. But anyway, I just love the roasts so much because they're so. I mean, there's no holding back. It is like insult, like the highest level insults, not only of the person that the roast is about, but everybody else there. And,
right.
And it's
that's my favorite part. Most of the time, the best jokes are making fun of other roasters, not the roastee. Is that right?
Yeah.
Roaster. Yeah. Making fun of the other guys telling the jokes.
Right.
That sometimes is the best of everything.
It was so good, and it was an interesting. It's always interesting to see the people they bring on because a lot of times they have people on to roast whoever that number one doesn't even know the person, and number two, not very many people know, like or not very famous or like kind of has-beens or whatever, like. Ludacris was roasting who was like Charlie Sheen or somebody.
No,
like that.
he was roasting Justin Bieber, wasn't he?
It was Justin Bieber. You're right. And,
that was right after they did that, baby, baby. Oh,
so
Luda jumped on that track. Luda jumped on that track.
That's right. Anyway, but it really is, like
my first love. I used to know that part.
Alec Baldwin. Well, you know every word that Ludacris has ever written or sung ever.
I had to lip sync that at a wedding one time. The Ludacris part to "Baby" by Justin Bieber.
Was it at Little's wedding? Yeah. That's right. I mean, that was something that I've never seen Mike Little do before. But anyway,
never will again.
But it was fun though. But anyway, the roast was really funny. They show it like a ton after it's on. They show it several times, so keep an eye out for on your guide or whatever, and record it if you don't get to watch it or whatever. But the Comedy Central roast of Alec Baldwin, there were a bunch of there were some funny people on there. I think the funniest was Nikki Glazer. She went first.
Yeah,
and she was, I think, might have ended up being the funniest. She had some really funny stuff.
I've said this before. When we talk about comedians and comedies and all the comedy specials and things like that. I think women in comedy right now are some of my favorite people. Now, I don't know, were some of my favorite people because I'm starting to rethink that as we do these specials now. But no, Whitney Cummings, I always loved her. Nikki Glazer cracks me up. She's hilarious.
She is. She's funny, and I would like to see her like in a comedy club or something. Like the specials that I've seen have kind of been like, okay, pretty funny, but it seems like maybe I just overhyped the special because it's like, okay, this is their big thing. Like they work their stuff out in the clubs for months to prepare for this special, and so I expect it to be like top notch,
everything kill.
Yeah, and when it's not, then I get disappointed. But anyway, so I don't know. I mean, does that mean that we should watch a Nikki Glazer special? Does that mean we need to pick another young lady to watch, or should we?
I'm good with whatever you want to do, man. I'll watch anything. You just tell me, and if I've seen it, it doesn't matter. I'll watch it again because I probably need to remember anything because I watched Bill Burr on Saturday, and I struggle remembering things. Things slowly start coming back in my head as we talk about it, but I'm not good about that.
Huh. Okay, so we got to pick somebody.
While you're thinking about that, back when we were talking about Myles Garrett, I wanted to mention something. We've got a loyal listener that listens to us all the time. He's in middle school at Ross Middle. He's at Ross Middle School, defensive tackle. Last week, Dylan Myers, big ups to you, brother. I believe he had a sack, 2 tackles for a loss, and a forced fumble recovery. So I just want to shout out to you. I owe you a shirt. I'm going to get a shirt to your dad. I promise you. But good work. Good work on the gridiron. Keep it up, and can't wait to hear about your next game, brother. keep getting that money from your dad.
Nice work, Dylan. Man,
So have you decided?
I'm thinking of a specific comedian, and right now, of course, because whenever I need to, people's names just disappear from my head.
Right.
But he's got a big nose. He's got, so it's going to be perfect for us. He's a different. I don't know if he would be like alt comedy. I don't think he's like an alt comedy guy, but he's like an intellectual comedian kind of, and he's like he incorporates.
That's gonna suck.
It's. I think he's incredibly funny.
Yeah.
Because I like that part of it. How he incorporates like art. He's a really good drawer and stuff, and I think you're gonna know. I think you're gonna know the name at least as soon as I think of it. But until I think of it,
Has Chelsea Handler got a new special out, or is this a TV show? Hello, privilege. It's me, Chelsea.
that sounds like a special.
Getting woke is not a joke. A provocative comedian dares to put her own white privilege on blast.
And that's the thing. Like,
No, this isn't. This is nah. She's
that
just sitting
something else?
around talking. Yeah, she's talking to Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish. Anyway,
But those are the topics that everybody's covering now.
yeah,
Like the white privilege stuff, the race stuff, the political stuff, all the big topics that are all people get all up in arms about. Every comedian is covering that stuff.
and they
now.
can be really funny if you can not take them seriously for an hour.
Yes.
If you can not take them seriously for an hour, they can be really, really funny.
Put aside your opinions for a minute.
Yeah, just don't take everything seriously for just a second. It's actually they're pretty funny. Dude, I don't know who you're talking about with a big nose. Who are you talking
It's
about?
Dimitri Martin. It just came
Dimitri
to me.
Martin. There you go.
Dimitri Martin. Do you familiar?
I don't know. No, not off the
Dimitri
top
Martin.
of my head.
I'm gonna figure out his last comedy special. I think it's been a couple years, maybe 2 or 3 years, but every one of them that I have seen, I've loved. And we don't have to do him, but I would like to introduce you to Dimitri Martin if you're not familiar.
All right,
with
there's one from last year. That dude's got a schnoz on him for
See?
real.
See it?
There's one from last year, 2018.
Okay, perfect.
The Overthinker.
The Overthinker, that's
Dimitri Martin, the Overthinker.
Yes.
Demetri, because I spelled it wrong. Martin, the Overthinker. I'm totally in for this.
I'm telling you, I think you're gonna like it. He does a lot of one-liners.
Okay,
So he's
yeah.
he's not as much a storytelling comedian
Sure.
like Chappelle or those guys,
Right.
but he's more one-liners, and they're just really clever. Just really clever quips. They're just very.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just awesome. And he had a show on Comedy Central for a short time. It was only a season or two long that I thought was hilarious. That he did a whole bunch of really funny skits and stuff, and it got canceled because nobody was watching it. But it was
That's a
it
bummer.
was one of those things. I feel like those come along sometimes where you find a show and you love it and you think it's the funniest thing ever,
And it goes
and
off.
nobody else is
Yep,
watching it. And you're
nobody
like,
else-
what's everybody
everybody's like,
doing
this
with
is
your
no
life?
good. You know what we got to check out because I haven't seen a Mike Birbiglia in a while. That dude
okay.
cracks me the heck up too.
Let's do Dimitri Martin, and then we'll just schedule Mike Birbiglia after that.
All right, that sounds good.
What I
Schedule that.
should have said was nothing. That's all I have to say about Mike Birbiglia.
There you go. All right, so we're gonna go with Dimitri Martin.
Dimitri Martin.
Dimitri
I'm
Martin,
so excited.
Overthinker.
I'm
Cool. So check
excited
it out.
to
If
see
you
what
listen
think.
to us, check it out. We'll talk about it next week.
We will.
Anything else you got to go over here today, buddy?
That's all I've got.
We did pretty good today.
I think we did all right.
Pretty good today. So I feel good, confident about my picks. Check them out. Hit us up on the tweet boxes if you want to, or comment on whatever platform you listen to this on. iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud, Apple Podcast, the podcast app, which I found out is a thing that we're on.
I always forget about that one. Good call.
There's a few of them. Spotify, that whatever it's on, man. Just listen to it. Send a comment on there. Like, subscribe to it. We appreciate it. And yeah, I think that's about all we got for today, brother.
That's it.
All right. Well, in that
See you
case,
next week.
yeah, we will see you next week. For Adam Schmidt, I am Mr. Chris Witt, and my voice hopefully will sound better next week. Don't forget to turn your headlights on.